U.S. and global temperatures have risen in recent centuries, with an increased rate of warming over the past 30 years by 1/8 of a degree Celsius. Due to the rising global average temperature, weather patterns are changing. Extreme weather events such as heat waves and large storms are likely to become more frequent and more intense with human-induced climate change. Over the last several decades, heat waves have been on the rise. In 2003, a heat wave settled over Europe, killing 40,000 people. Several years later, a more intense heat wave hit Russia, setting the country on fire and killing 50,000 people, with their temps reaching 30 degrees above normal. Scientists are expecting another 150,000 deaths in North America due to temperatures increasing 4 to 11 degrees Fahrenheit during this century. The question, however, is what is happening to make the global temperature soar? Greenhouse gases from human activities, such as burning fossil fuels, is one of the most major causes of observed climate change since the mid-20th century. As human activities increase, greenhouse gases build up in the atmosphere and are warming the climate. For hundreds of thousands of years, the concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere stayed between 200 and 300 parts per million. As you can see in the graph, today it's up to nearly 400 parts per million, and the amount is still rising. Along with other greenhouse gases, this extra carbon dioxide is trapping heat and causing the climate to change. As carbon pollutions continue to rise, climate change warms our air. When air gets warmer, it can carry more water vapor, so any small rise in temperature could lead to more moisture being taken from Earth's surface, causing dry soils, which then precondition heat waves. Today, water vapor in the global atmosphere has increased by about 5% over the 20th century, and 4% since 1970. Along with heat waves, we can expect floods to amplify because moisture in the air is actually likely to fuel storms. Higher moisture causes heavy rainfalls to come too fast, and because our soil cannot absorb such extreme rainfalls, we are seeing an increase in flooding events. It's agreed upon that climate change is caused by what us humans have done and continue doing to this planet. Due to the increased pollutants in the atmosphere, there is an ozone hole above the Arctic that we have known about for decades. The effects are becoming more apparent. In 2015, the maximum ice pack for the winter season in the Arctic was at some areas over 300 miles lower than the average for the last 35 years. While this is interesting, a better way to find the effects of climate change is looking at the summer season and the minimum ice pack in the Arctic. In 2012, the Arctic had the lowest minimum ice pack to date of 1.31 million square miles, beating the previous record in 2007 of 1.61 million square miles. This frightening information tells us that it is possible we may see an ice-free Arctic within our lifetime. Weather events are projected to continue to change over this century and beyond. The intensity of change beyond the next few decades depends on the amount of heat-trapping gases emitted into the atmosphere and how our Earth is able to respond to those emissions. As we gain a better understanding of what causes extreme weather events, it is becoming possible to link these events to climate change and find solutions regarding our future. With society as a whole, we can respond to climate change in two ways. One way is to take action to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. We can do this by improving energy efficiency, switching to clean and renewable energy sources, preventing deforestation, recovering landfill gas, and encouraging farm practices that protect soil quality. The second way is to adapt to climate change. We can do this by adjusting farm practices to cope with drought and modify water management practices to deal with reduced river flows, glacial outburst floods, or salt contaminating groundwater. We need both of these ways because adapting is necessary due to the greenhouse gases already in our atmosphere, and taking action is necessary because if we do nothing, climate change will eventually overwhelm any efforts made to adapt. The sooner we begin reducing our emissions, the lower the level at which they peak, and the less we will alter our climate.